Hey everyone, this is Leo Young, and this is I guess you would call a new segment for videos that don't fall into our current categories, impressive videos. And I'm just going to be going over the 21st century, the starter of the Assassin's Creed backstory. And if you don't know what I mean, like if you play the game casually, you wouldn't know that there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes from the video games. And I'm basically going to fill in most of the blanks or most of what I feel is important. Um, I got most of these images from the wiki, and I already knew these things that had happened, but I got the dates specifically from the wiki. So if you want to go see the wiki, I believe I'll put a link down below, or you can just type up Assassin's Creed wiki. So again, 2000 to 2012. So first of all, we start off with Assassin's Creed Fall. It's mostly known as a comic. It doesn't actually have a video game, but it's basically the origin of Daniel Cross and his ancestor Nikolai Orlov. And in this, Nikolai's story takes place in the 19th century, and or was it the 18th century? Anyway, so Nikolai is basically an assassin who quit the Brotherhood and was killed, but his son survived, and that son would become the ancestor of Daniel. Well, in the year 2000, Daniel Cross would come across the mentor of the Assassin's Brotherhood, and he would basically, by becoming his own ultimate assassin, by following the creed, by meeting with other branches, by becoming the ideal, basically the Ezio of our time. If that doesn't surprise you, that's amazing. Well, actually, no, that's great because if you've seen him in the game, you know how he is. He's all strung out, but he is originally the Ezio of the 2000s, the 21st century. So when he met the mentor, he killed him when he was given a ceremonial hidden blade. The Templars set him in as a sleeper agent, and the director of the operation was Warren Vidic. After Daniel had killed the mentor, he went back to Abstergo to go back to the Animus. Now, a couple months later, the Great Purge was the name of a worldwide operation where the Templars went to multiple assassin bases given to them by Daniel Cross and killed them. The men, the women, and children. Now, as Daniel was in the Animus, his mental stability began to decline, and he would become what we see in the current game. However, this would take a good decade. He's still, again, himself. He hasn't gone into full, I would call it junkie mode. Anyways, but until then, Daniel would still be used on assignments. In 2002, Daniel would be sent to the library of Ivan the Terrible to find Ezio Auditore da Firenze's Prophet's Codex. In 2003, two important events happened, and one is mainly interesting. The other one, I would just believe. If you're a conspiracy theorist, you would look into it. Desmond Miles ran away from the farm in March of 2003. A few days later, the Templars begin the Iraq War for themselves to privatize the oil industry. And behind it is President Bush. However, Bush himself is not a Templar, but instead a puppet of them. 2 years later, in 2005, Lucy Stillman will be sent to infiltrate Abstergo when she was contacted by Vidic for her, what's the word she used in Assassin's Creed 1? Pseudoscience. The assassins would decide to send her in and join Abstergo and basically find all the information she can. However, during this time, she would again switch her allegiance from the assassins to the Templars. In 2006, a virus broke out in Africa, and 96% of the people there were killed. Now, that's something a lot of people don't know. In the Assassin's Creed universe, Africa is nearly barren. It has nobody. Now, it is said that Abstergo is the reason behind it, and the people who gave this out is the Erectio, the organization that contacts you in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. The EURID, that group, the one that emails Desmond. We still don't have any clue who they are yet. Anyways, so we move a year later to 2007, where Clay Kazmarek will be known as the second assassin to infiltrate Abstergo successfully. However, he was also sent by the same person who sent Lucy, William Miles, aka Desmond Miles' father. His mission: retrieve any data related to the Animus Project. In 2010, Sean Hastings would be saved by Rebecca Crane after he leaked classified Abstergo documents to the public. To repay the favor, he would join the assassins as an IT and a missions assistant. Within the same week, Subject 15 would be killed after it discovered that her and her baby were creating issues within the Animus, linking and syncing two different memories, one from the father and one from the mother, aka 15. In February of 2011, Clay would be captured by Abstergo. However, this would not be because of his connection to the assassin, but his assassin's lineage. The department that captured Clay is known as Lineage Discovery and Acquisition. He would become the infamous Subject 16. At some point in the same year, however, Daniel Cross would kill Hannah Mueller. Now we're entering the 2012 era of the game, starting with Assassin's Creed 1. Now, Abstergo would release a drug known as the new fluoride and introduce it to the water supplies in China and some of the US. The main objective is to make this water more tasty, but that's all that's known about it. In August 8th, Clay Kazmarek would kill himself, but before he would smear his own blood within the Animus room and his bedroom, and would continue to survive as an AI within the Animus system. In September 1st, Desmond Miles is captured in New York City and delivered to the Abstergo base in Rome to become Subject 17. For the next week, Desmond is put through the Animus to follow the memories of his ancestor Altair ibn Abba. At an unknown time, Project Siren is put into motion, where Lucy Stillman is to set Desmond free, and at the same time, she would follow through and try to get as much information from the assassins as possible. On September 8th, Lucy would set Desmond and help him escape before his termination, and the two would meet up with Rebecca and Sean. Lucy would later explain that of an upcoming solar flare that will wipe out all of humanity. They would then put Desmond in the Animus 2.0 to relive the memories of his ancestor Ezio Auditore da Firenze during the Italian Renaissance era. On September 12th, Daniel Cross would go to Whistler, Canada and kill a team of assassins. September 15th, Warren Vidic leads an attack on the assassin base where Desmond and the others are held up. Though they would lose the assassins, the Templars would get their hands on the Animus recordings left behind, most likely on purpose by Lucy Stillman. The next day, they head to Monteriggioni and take base under the Auditore Villa, where Desmond would continue studying Ezio's life and find Ezio's Apple of Eden. This plan goes until October 10th, where the assassins find their way under the Rome's Colosseum. After gaining the apple, Juno, a member of the first civilization, forces Desmond to kill Lucy. He would remain in a coma for 20 days as he went through the final chapters of Ezio Auditore's life. Waking up on October 30th, Desmond, Sean, Rebecca, and William Miles will head into a first civilization temple in New York, where they would set up a new base of operations for Desmond to follow the memories of both Hatham Kenway and his son Connor Kenway. On November 16th, Desmond Miles and Daniel Cross had their first encounter. Now, as they work to locate the item in Connor's memories, on November 28th, an assassin team led by another assassin unknown to the story, aka known as Harlan Cunningham, will kill a group of Abstergo hackers that were tracing William and his team. 2 days later, Giovanni Otzelberg and Sigma team assault an assassin base in Florence. The only two survivors, an assassin leader, Adrio Mastran. It's an Italian name. As close as I can get, Maestrenzi, and Harlan Cunningham. On December 12th, William Miles is captured by Sigma team in Egypt, where only 2 days later, Desmond would attack Abstergo with his piece of Eden. He would come to kill Vidic and forever shut down the I Abstergo project. There's no real date of where the I Abstergo project started, but it's basically a plan for Abstergo to shoot a piece of Eden in the sky during the solar flare, which would then increase its power and allow the Templars to control Earth. December 21st, Desmond and the others would learn two outcomes for the upcoming solar flare from the first civilization goddess Minerva. Seeing no way out, Desmond would sacrifice himself to save the world, consequently freeing Juno from her prison within the temple. However, Desmond's body would be found some 15 hours later by Abstergo. And that's pretty much the major events of 2000 to 2012 that take place. Now, 2013 and up, there are some very interesting stories that go on involving a group called the Initiates and all that. And my new favorite assassin, Gavin Banks. Just, I'm hoping I can do a video about that, but it really depends on how many like views and likes this one gets. But yeah. Again, these are like events that I see that are important. Like the new fluoride one, I don't believe that was important, but I was just going through it, and it's like, oh well, I need a couple extra seconds on this video. It wouldn't hurt. So I do hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I don't have a segment for it, but just if you wouldn't take a minute out of your day, hit the subscribe button or just hit the like button. Or put some feedback, suggestions, anything will do. If I sounded loud in certain areas, it's because I have this device going on right now. So my bad about that. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed. I'm probably going to do a second one. I cannot do anything before 2000 or the 21st century because it gets complicated with all the assassins and the British in the World War II and all that. It's too much. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, leave a like, share it, subscribe it. Do whatever you feel is right. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the entire video, and I'll see you in the next one.